Welcome to the channel. This is Rev Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, New South Wales, Australia, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me. Covert emotional incest and narcissistic zombies. So you've met this person and it's kicked off really well. Really well. You can't tell what's going on underneath. You don't know where they've and what they've had to go through in their lives before you come along. You don't know how they went about their lives or how they navigated their lives. You just have come out of a marriage with a overt narcissist. There was a lot of sad things that happened in the marriage. Excuse me. I had a serious kiting accident. I broke my arm, I shattered my ankle. She had to get an ovary out, and they should have given her a hysterectomy, but they didn't. They just took the ovary out. Then when they gave her the hysterectomy, she came home and she wasn't the same. She just wasn't the same, man. It was not the same person. And things went downhill pretty fast, sort of, from there. Then her son needed to move in because he fell out with his parents. I sort of had that look on my face because previous to this, when I first met the woman, the son and her were very close. She obviously despised the husband and went into a covert emotional incestual relationship with the son. The parent was the daughter. The adult daughter was actually the parent. She was, yet she couldn't manage herself. This is the strange part. She married a very feminine style of man, but he was trying. My masculinity was way too much for them. They were never going to be able to manage that. The spirit behind it all was the demasculation of the father, led by the mother, who was a victim martyr. The world owed her. So the father had to pay, and the son stepped into the father's place as the golden child hero, the daughter being the scapegoat bully, the father being the vandalized. It can get very dark in these families. You do become quite zombified in trying to find a way of fixing the mundanity and the boredom, as it were. The thing is, with the narcissistic personality, you can take these people around the world and entertain them for years, but it won't take away the malignancy, the MPD in their mind and heart. And what will happen is these people will need to find somebody that they can serve with. I've seen this 1,000 times before, viewers, and they'll go to a pub or they'll find somebody online and start an affair. Usually by this time the husband's had enough of the person anyway. Being driven round the bend, he's got all sorts of trauma and stress from this person, add 2 children to the mix, and you've got a cocktail for disaster. Put in a woman now that's in an affair after all the years of hard work, and somebody that's never done anything for themselves or anybody else, and she's now given herself over to basically a zombie. It's very belittling, demoralizing, it's very destructive and harmful, and it's a demonic way of trying to undo all the years of hard work that you put in to try and love and care for this person. When you meet someone, there's a natural way in which our body works to make everything right, to establish a connection and a relationship. And what this can do to us, if we haven't learned already, I learnt this in high school, is blindside us from things that are going to indicate to us that this person may not be the best idea for us. Now, most people want to have a long-term relationship. Most people want to be exclusive, and this is like the gremlins and minions and spawn that you run into if you meet the wrong person. This is the family behind the scenes who are not going to accept you, who are not going to receive you. They've come out of the closet now. The masks are off. This is what it's like. And there's no good getting out the pepper spray for these guys. It ain't going to stop them. And usually the person that you're with will warn you about how much they dislike this family member and that family member. But the thing is, as the relationship goes on and it deteriorates, the family members will go along with the person that's doing all the playing up and the pulling apart. See, many of you people don't understand that some people you're just not meant to be with for a long time. It's just for a short time. And whatever you learn from that, and whatever they learn from that, it's up to you guys. But when the zombies start coming out of the closet and the covert emotional incest in that family begins to manifest, go overt, it's not all covert, it goes overt and it starts manifesting in front of you, you need to be prepared for what's going to happen. Something along similar lines to this. They just turn around one day and the next thing you've got people that you thought you knew but you didn't. And they're gonna they want you out. See, the thing about zombies is when they bite you, you're supposed to become a zombie as well. And if you don't, then that's going to cause more aggravation and more ferocity to build inside the minions and gremlins and flying monkeys in the family or friends as well. The problem with covert narcissists, passive-aggressive narcissists, is they get used to not resolving anything. And this is what I was going to say about husbands previous to you. A lot of these husbands don't resolve anything. If they've got a drink or if they've got a hobby or if they've got something else, they just let things go. And this conditions the woman to think that there's things that you just don't have to fix. But if you come from a world of fixing things and trying to get forward in life, then you won't end up like this. This is the result of drugs and alcohol and medications. But you see in the back there the flying monkey, the gremlin, the minion. And that's basically a dead mother, alive, but within herself dead, because they don't resolve anything. And when I say that, they don't resolve things that are going to keep the relationship going. They'll resolve shopping, they'll resolve all the natural domestic needs that they need to maintain for their dependents. Yeah, jeez, it's bad. And when you look later on, you go, well, what did they go on to do? Like, a lot of people worry when they break up with people or get divorced, well, that person's going to go on to have a better life. I can assure you, they don't. Their minds are gone, their pets die, they go to court and all this other stuff with their children, for their children. Their relationships fail, their children's relationships fail. They remain drug addicts or alcoholics for the rest of their lives, medicated. And it doesn't look like this, but it is underneath. It's quite sad. And what happens is, when they meet A-grade supply, they do take value for it, but they don't know how to sustain it, because their flying monkeys and minions try and spoil it on them. And they will. And the attempt is to wear down your self-esteem and to stop your life from being successful and going on and being healthy, because they're not prepared to make the effort to be that way. They've chosen to go down the substance route or alcohol route, and addiction route, because it takes extraordinary effort. Do you realise this? Just to stay straight today. If you can just stay straight without adding any chemicals or anything that's going to alter the way you feel, then you are in the 1%. There's not many left. If you haven't got a mental problem today, mental health problem, you're not normal. So zombies are real. Zombies are most definitely real. And they're right throughout our communities today. People that don't want to face the deeper issues. And covert emotional incest creates narcissists, because it usually comes from a narcissistic mother who now has been so badly embittered with her husband, she turns to the children and turns them on the husband as a way of ratting him out. She'll show more attention to the children to frustrate and aggravate him, punish him psychologically. She'll show favoritism towards kids and make out he don't care about them, of which the children will then rebel against him and start to defy and aggravate him. This will go on until the husband leaves. I'm not saying the husband's innocent or anything like that, whatever, usually these people are, again, on alcohol and drugs and other stuff. And with the assistance of the flying monkeys, people are just going to leave. You couldn't be bothered. See, what's the point in going down to try and reconcile with a zombie? Somebody that doesn't know how to look after themselves, doesn't want to be rationale, doesn't care about the parent, because they don't care if their parent's relationship lasts or not, or the parent doesn't care about the child. You know, it's horrible when you pull up at your boyfriend's or girlfriend's place and you're met by these. You know, it's a little bit rough. And I suppose to some extent it's embarrassing for the partner as well, because they've contributed to the way this is for them. And this causes trauma, I'm sure you would guess that. This causes severe trauma. Excuse me. This is looking inside from behind the scenes at the covert, overt, narcissistic, emotional, incestual family. They're so hurt and damaged by the way they've allowed their lives to go that they will come after you. One way or another, they will come after you. I've had these people come after me. I don't know why. I just sit and shake my head and go, oh, not this again. You watch the mothers trying to, they can't sort this out. They've bred it into them. And this is what you're up against. If you're a girlfriend or a boyfriend that meets one of the younger ones and not the parent, then you're going to have to contend with the parent. And good luck with that. That's why with covert emotional incest, once it starts to turn on you and you're not accepted, my strong advice is to get out. Just leave them alone. They're happy the way they are. They're not going to want you telling them, you know, this, that and all the other. You'll end up with trauma and lose years of your life. For what? To watch these people destroying themselves? That's what they're going to do. You can't change it. You cannot change it. Because they keep coming. They don't want to change, otherwise they would. Doesn't mean they won't polish their shoes and all that. Just means that inside the MPD has taken root and they're just going to let it lead them to the grave. One smoke at a time, one drink at a time, one argument at a time, one emotional dysfunction at a time, one bong at a time, joint at a time, and maybe one snort at a time. If you can be straight, just straight, I keep saying to people, if you can just be straight, you're a superhero. You have superpower, I'm telling you, if you can just be straight. And you'll see things and experience things that these people just won't. And it's very sad. Yeah, covert emotional incest and the zombie minions, gremlins, flying monkeys and family members. They will come for you. And the person that you're with won't be able to do anything about it. Quite frightening, really. Rev Dr. J.W. Morrison, Teologist, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me. And bye for now.